Acha, this is something that I've come to realize and something which is very important. I think it is important for every person, every young teenager also to realize that spending time with your family is way more important than you would ever think so. I think in the end you end up you realize at a certain point in your life, if something happens, if a certain event takes place in your life in which the whole world turns against you, you would realize that the only people that are actually there with you are your parents, in most likelihood. Your family, I wouldn't want to extend it too far, but let's restrict it to your parents for now. I think your parents, spending time with your parents and or honestly just being there for them, um, is is a trait that every 20-year-old should have, or like under the age of 20. I think you'd come to realize after a certain point that okay, abhi college aa gaya, so I might be moving out. When you move out, you live separately away from your parents, you live in a dorm, maybe even in a different city or in a different country, and then you realize, oh yeah, I speak to my mom on call every day. But before, when you were actually there with your mom in the same house, you used to barely speak for like 5 minutes. So that's a lesson that I have learned also, because I used to also, I went through that stage where I was like, "Arey bro, spending time with my parents is not a cool thing. Like you don't, you're not cool. You have to be with your friends. You have to be out the entire time. Who goes out with their parents and stuff?" But I eventually realized lockdown, because in fact when I was like, when I couldn't spend time with my friends anymore and I was at home, and I ended up realizing, okay, this is important. This is very important. You need to have a very good relation with your family, with your parents, because in the end, no matter what, I think your family is the only ones that stand by you through thick and through thin. And yeah, spend time with your mom, spend time with your dad, and in the end, eventually you'll feel better about it too. That's something, that's a very important lesson. That
You also said, nah, it's their first life too. No, like
Yeah.
give them a
Yeah.
break too. They're also living their
Yeah.
first life.
Yeah, like your parents are people also, right? In the end,
Yeah.
like most people don't realize that, oh, my mom did this, she's so evil. Oh, my dad did this, he's such a prick. But it's their first time parenting also. They have not done this before. It's not like they've done this many a times. It's the first time they're parenting, and they'll make mistakes, yeah. But that doesn't mean that you stop spending time with them, or you don't hang out with them, or you don't talk to them. They're people too. They're humans too. I think give them a break sometimes. Yeah. Beautiful lesson. Yeah.
It's actually beautiful the way you put it. They are people too. They make mistakes too. It's their maybe first time parenting too. And of course they messed up somewhere and it's okay. Like everyone does.
Yeah. And at this age, if you guys realize, at this stage of our lives, we've probably spent 90% or more.
I've seen that graph.
Curse ka sad, bro. Curse ka sad, guys. If you don't follow yet, that's crazy.
So there are four
Go ahead.
graphs.
Yeah, yeah.
So the time you spend alone, it goes up throughout the entire life. The time you spend with your partner peaks during the middle age thing. The time you spend with your parents, like it just goes down. Until it eventually drops to zero.
It's basically like at this stage, when you are 20 or 21, you have spent 90% of your time with your parents that you will ever spend again. This time is gone. Like you'll never, after a few years, you'll move out, and then you are never going to stay with your parents again. They're never going to be there. You're not going to eat your mom's like meal every single day. You're not going to. And when I realized that, okay, I've probably spent 95% of my life with my parents that I ever will again. Like the time that I've spent, this is probably, I'm at my last stage. I'm at my last 10%. I was like, holy shit. This is it. Like after this, it's this stage of my life, being the son of these two people, it's almost at the end. So yeah, that's when I started to spend more time, and I was like, yeah, it's time to spend time with the people that give birth to you guys. Come on, like if they weren't there, you wouldn't be there. Yeah.
Regarding this is also, there's on the same similar lines, there was something like you only have around 40 to 50 more summers left with your parents. Make sure you go to every single of them. Like you attend every single one of the summers with your parents. And that was like, wow.
Damn.
You won't attend all of them, but just make sure that you can at least 30, 40.
It reminds me of the flip side of the coin also, because a lot of people have narcissistic or parents who have a certain mindset, and that might have, affected them in the wrong way. The people they have grown up to be. So just you can't hate a person for having a damaged prefrontal cortex or something. So just be kind to them, forgive them, but you don't have to continue. Like a lot of cases I was reading about narcissistic parents, you may have to go no contact completely. Not all cases. I'm not a therapist, so yeah, you may have to go no contact with them, and it's okay. So just it's okay.
You know, this made me realize that parenting is actually very important. Like, we don't know, we are not in the stage yet, but actually, the way we're brought up, everything, we're actually very privileged. Even to
Very,
talk
very
about
privileged.
this, yeah, and we're on the good side of things
Yeah.
because we have good parents. We had privileged parents.
For sure. Yeah.
Damn.
Important lesson. Alright, Apuro sir, masala mil gaya teko?